I've been following this story since it broke out in the worst affected area in the country, Begezela. What I and the rest of the country, and especially the residents of Begezela, want to know is why are people still getting infected if they are getting what we all believe is clean water?
We thought it was a cure for
yes, Lord.
and what's about to reduce.
Nginithi ngalaka. Senza konke kusemandleni ethu. Kodwa le yimpi enzima kakhulu.
The amount of time it takes Hydroxy to move from stage 2 to stage 3 has decreased.
So you reckon it's a sign of a mutation?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
According to his calculations, we could have a cure, just a little bit more potent than yours.
The Hydroxy project has been cancelled.
We can save lives on a large scale. A little girl can have a long, full, healthy life. Please just test it, please, sir. Pray told a cure.
Amid a deadly waterborne virus outbreak called Hydroxy, Ben Mosikiri, a cleaner at Man Made It Laboratory, that's a medical pharmaceutical company, faces personal tragedy when his girlfriend, Mantwa, succumbs to the virus and his daughter becomes gravely ill. Driven by guilt over his past failures and desperation to save his child, Ben becomes deeply curious about the stalled cure development led by Dr. Richard, who's a senior biochemist. When sabotage derails progress, Richard halts research, leaving Ben determined to act on his own in finding a cure. Ben Made It. It's a powerful new film that has just been selected for the prestigious Joburg Film Festival that begins on the 13th of March. In studio with us, we've got the director, Pheello, Makosholo, and the producer, Thabang, Mathumetse, who are going to tell us more about this. Congratulations, firstly. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I really don't like movies like this because it's like almost life imitating art, and that's what lands up happening, is you sort of watch these movies and you think, nah, it's never going to happen to us, and then it happens. But talk to me about it, the idea behind all of this. Who wants to begin? Go for it.
I'll start. I think first let me say that, like, I think the purpose of art as well is to engage, provoke, and make us think.
Yeah.
So we have to make these films so that we can think about the future, like in a way we're projecting what could happen in the future and possibly projecting answers as well. That's one thought. But the idea came from our other producer, who's Pheello. And he wrote it. He's from out in Mosikiri in Randfontein.
Yeah.
So he's the one that he's the writer of the film, and he's the one that came up with the idea. And I think he's also a little bit of a closer to the coalface of it because he's in a mining area, and in and slightly underdeveloped. So water is a scarce resource in those spaces. Yeah.
And it's a big problem. I mean, this is a thing that is affecting everybody at the moment. So, I mean, Ben Made It is something that I think is going to resonate with a lot of people as you start seeing and looking at almost your lived experience being played out on screen. And it's a great worry. I mean, talk to me a little bit more about, the idea of wanting to shed the light on the dangers of contaminated water, the inequalities of healthcare. These are major issues right now that currently facing as South Africans.
True. If you look at that aspect, I think the intention with the idea was to preempt, but to also forecast because we just recently came from a pandemic just now with the COVID, and juxtaposing that and looking at what could be the next, God forbid, possible pandemic. And we've been having this issue of water, but also looking at the storyline between a father and a daughter, what are the links between the father going through all these elements of saving his daughter, and the aspect of water, it's a very important thing because now with load shedding, it affects water being pumped, especially in and around Gauteng.
Yeah.
You've got certain areas in the country that don't have basic water, and the whole essence of this film is just to literally to tell a specific message, and also at the same time have the country talking with the issues that we are facing now, post-democracy, as much as we we are in the government of GNU and in democracy. We're just looking at those elements and making sure that we get the country talking about the issues that are happening right now.
Yeah, and pertinent issues, because that's been something that,
most definitely,
you know, has always been in the arts, in films, in theatre, where you speak about issues in such a hard-hitting, real way that people walk away and think, man, this is my lived reality and I'm watching it on a screen. And normally you watch movies thinking, that's never going to happen to me, but this is the life of people. Now, you tell me about some of the issues that you touched on as well, but I think one of the very big ones as well is the ethics of pharmaceutical monopolies.
Yes.
And you do touch on this very much so. And I think this came to light, as you mentioned, during the COVID pandemic, and people started questioning, you know, these pharmaceutical monopolies. It's a big problem.
Yeah, most definitely, because we're also part of the stories. We're highlighting the other aspects of these pharmaceutical companies, and also what always PJ used to also reiterate while we were in pre-production and development. This is like the new biological apartheid, you know, where this essence of monopolization kind of stifles the genuine masses, the people out there.
I want to talk about the film, though, itself, and the cast, and working on something like this, because I know that the conversation can turn very heavy because there's so much that's uncovered in all of this. But, you know, behind this is an incredible team of actors. Perhaps you want to talk to us about shooting, what it was like, the team, all of that.
It was challenging because, you know, South Africa budgets, but I think,
Say no more.
But I mean, I think we've been so fortunate. We had Wayne van Rooyen come through, and I mean, and we had Jose and Kucho and Nkopane, who, like, you know, were leading the film, and like they didn't have to. They've got like much bigger, better things to be doing, but they came through for me, and that was really, really a blessing, because I think you get to make better films when you've got better people around you. It's like surrounding yourself with smart people. So you get to make a better film. And we had like a really extraordinary DOP, Bukosi Mangai, and he really made the film really come beautifully to life. And, you know, shout out to the people of Mohlakeng. I mean, if you look at it, this is where we shot, and like they welcomed us into their homes. They opened up their spaces. They gave us everything that we needed without not asking for much. So I think big ups to those people, like more than anything. They really, really made the film.
I just love how it's filmed in a real community, and I imagine that a lot of the community members were part of some of the scenes.
Yes. We shot it with the National Film Video Foundation Presidential Employment Stimulus Package, the PESP grant, and part of the PESP grant was for us to employ and create jobs.
Fantastic.
So we managed to create more than wholesome jobs in and around the community of Randfontein, Mohlakeng, and also employ skills development there, because I think the crew that we shot with, as much as on a normal film set, you usually have like a bigger crew, and the budget, as much as it being tight, we managed to shoot with like close to like 50 or 60% of like a professional crew, and then the other 40% were real life locals that learned how to be on a film set. So as much as we shot this, but also at the same time, it was a means of us paying homage and also creating a skills development in and around for the relevant people.
That is fantastic. I love that. I absolutely love that. And actually going into the communities and because you see in these communities the high rate of unemployment and joblessness, and you guys coming in every day, giving them that light, like saying, okay, I've got something to do. I'm working. This is beautiful. I've got something to get out of bed for. Pheello, you want to say?
No, saying just on that, I think as a habit, I think the film industry also needs to get into the habit of leaving things.
Yes.
It's good to go into a community and leave a little bit of money, because you can see the real visible change. I mean, you all of a sudden start seeing the spaza shop moving a little bit more. So we are a good vehicle for change in employment and teaching. I mean, there's so many skills. The film industry is an industry that eats everything. You need people that know how to make clothes, carpenters, whatever it is that you need. So it's good that we always don't take these huge crews everywhere. So it was a blessing to learn that you can leave skills and leave something behind and make a small little change but you made that change.
I'm loving this. I think this is just such a fantastic... I just wish there could be more films that are done in this manner, and I'm sure there are, but it's nice to be given the platform like this to talk about it, and all of this because of the selection for the Joburg Film Festival. So how big is this for you guys? I mean, talk to me about what do you reckon this is going to do for you both?
We are
or for the film, I should say.
Most definitely.
At the end of the day, it is for you individually and the film and everyone involved.
I think the main important thing is to look at the film itself and also getting the viewers' response and getting it out there. We are making our first world premiere. It's a world premiere, first time screening at the Joburg Film Festival before it goes to other festivals in and around the country and, God willingly, in and around the rest of the world. So for us, it's a very prestigious event. We are very grateful. It's such a beautiful story. I think the trailer speaks to itself. Also, the movie itself speaks to itself. And I think with regards to that, it's just a means of making sure that we learn as much as possible, because part of filmmaking is for us to learn so that we can be able to come back with more stories that we can tell, especially from a South African sense.
All right. Any closing words from your side and sort of hopes for this and the film industry?
Come out and watch films.
Good.
Come out and watch films with other people so that like you can have a good time with other people. We don't always have to go out drink. We can go out and watch films.
On the 13th of March, we are premiering at Artistry in Sandton, 7 o'clock. You can get the tickets online at the Johannesburg Film Festival page. Come through. We also have a Q&A session with the director, the actors. Fantastic. I think it's very much important that viewers come through and just have a look at that and also get to witness a film in a big screen.
Brilliant. Good luck. Good luck, guys. Thank you for coming in. You should be very proud of what you've accomplished. Our director and producer of this movie, Ben Made It. Go out there and check it.